Hi, everybody. Welcome back, Maggie.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad that you are back because you remember last time your video went viral, like boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So, what are we going to talk about today?
So we are talking about community today, and we are also talking about wellness today as well.
Yes, we're going to talk about expanding community because, as you know, I mentioned in the past, probably sometimes people who come from other countries, we tend to stay in one box. Like, I'm from Rwanda, I'm going to stay with Rwandans all the time and just be in the community. But how am I going to know about other cultures? How am I going to adjust in American culture? That's the example that I'm giving. So I had to push myself to get out of the box, like Rosine, get out of the box and just meet other people. So what do you think of expanding community? What is expanding community? What is your understanding and how can we do that as new people or any other person who needs to adjust in a new country?
Yeah, so like expanding community, especially I think now is so important because we're in kind of like that digital age. So when we come, to this country or just a person, just an American that's born here or even a person that's been here for many years, I think anyone that's plus 10 years, that's living here, I consider them like American at this point.
Right.
So basically, we're just in this kind of digital age where everyone's stuck on their phone. People are not like connecting in like the physical reality. And when you are kind of in like your virtual reality in your own space, you don't see what is the actual the physical reality of what's happening in the world. Because what you read online is totally different than actually seeing it in person. So it's good to expand community. For example, even like doing things by yourself. So let's say you want to walk to the mall or you want to go to the park or you want to go to like maybe like an event. There's how do I say, like a festival or something like that. And it's kind of intimidating going by yourself or even like to a restaurant by yourself, a bar by yourself. It's so intimidating because you're just so vulnerable. It's just you and you don't know if someone's going to come up to you. So the expectation to go to these places is that first you have to go for yourself because you want to have like a positive experience. You want to see things in like a different world. And you want to see different people. Like you want to see people of different backgrounds. You want to see people of different personalities. And you just want to experience that and kind of figure things out. And just observing people watching, or just being like by yourself at a bar, I think is the most empowering thing anyone can do for yourself. And I know you've had that experience before. So
tell me about it. Like, not to interrupt you, but to be honest with you guys, it's not the easy move because when I thought about it, I was done with online things like meeting people online, chatting with people. Sometimes they don't tell you the truth. They are just bored behind the screen and type whatever they want to type. But when you figure out that you can have a good shower, put on the best clothes you have in your wardrobe, and just put makeup on, whatever the perfume you have, get out with confidence and go sit and grab a seat anywhere you want. That is the best thing that I could ever done. Like, really, I did it like the first time. Oh, my heart was like, what are you doing here? Or is it go back in your bed? It's really warm in there. You can watch Netflix. But guess what? Let me give you an example of the first encounter I did at the bar that I went to. So I went to this bar. It's really like 5 minutes of drive from my place. And I remember if I walked there or if I drove there, but I just was like, it's really like here across. Let me just go. So I went confidently, dressed up and stuff, makeup on. And I went there because they had live music. I love music, you know that. So when I got there, I started like when I kind of feel like nervous or anxious, I start like talking to myself or ask somebody next to me. That's my reaction. Like, so I happened to ask the person next to me. It was really a beautiful, nice lady. Hey, do you know if they're doing live music? Because I'm here for just live music. If they're not doing live music, I'm gonna go back home because I have Netflix. She laughed like with like a really good smile. She was like, I'm actually gonna do that because I'm the one who's gonna sing tonight. And I was like, awesome. And then we connected. She gave me her Instagram and stuff, and we talked about it a little bit before she gets on stage. But that was the first encounter, and I was like, if I stayed home watching Netflix, I wouldn't have known this person. And the information she gave me, because I was trying to get into modeling things and seeing agencies that are really honest and that take people in, she gave me some contacts, and anytime I can contact them if I'm ready to break in. But talking about getting out of your box, it wasn't like a funny feeling at first, but I like that I was able to even ask the person next to me, do you know if they're doing live music today? Because if not, then I'm going back home, because I wasn't feeling comfortable. But I'm glad I did. So yeah, expanding community takes courage, takes to be like, I'm gonna do this. I'm not feeling comfortable right now, but it's worthy the try. Trust me.
Yeah, I think like community first, it starts like with yourself. And that's like a really good example because people are very dependent. Not everyone, but I feel like naturally we want to be with around people. And but if sometimes that person's not always going to be around. That person can move. You cannot be friends with that person anymore. Or maybe that person is just busy. They have another job. And so you just have to find out things like what you want to do. And the first is the community. I think the first part of that community is within yourself, because that's very important. Like just to go out there by yourself and just kind of enjoying life and not being stuck on your screen I think, is really important, especially in today's age. Because again, like what you see online, what you hear things online, I feel like a lot has changed and our perception of people and has changed as well. So when we go and meet other people, like you're just walking in the mall and you can just like bump into somebody. You have like no idea. Or you can go on like a Zoom meeting with someone and that person can end up being like your friend for like the rest of your life. So just going out there by yourself and meeting people in like the most randomest places just to be comfortable with yourself, I think is really important. And that's like the first step of community. But also like the second thing is like if you're looking to like, let's say you belong to like a specific like religious organization, or even like you have a specific like spirituality, that you want to connect with like-minded people, people that, maybe follow like the same philosophies as you, people that have the same interests. So like maybe if you're into yoga, you can sign up for like a yoga studio and meet people there. Or if you want to do art classes, like you can meet people there in like the art studio. And then also if you're like a professional anywhere from like obviously above like in your 20s and you just want to go network, like let's say you did marketing in your country or you finished like a degree here in the United States, you can like meet other people at these events. So you can always Google, hey, what's like the next like marketing event or business event or like job fair event, meeting like young professionals, or look up like young professional events like in your town. They always have them. So you can't always like think like you're going to do it by yourself, because meeting that connection, it could actually change your life.
I know what you're thinking right now. Oh, Maggie, I'm not gonna pay money to meet people. Listen to me.
Mhm.
Listen to me here. We actually were talking about something like investment that is not like big amount of money but worthy the try. It might be like maybe $20 or $15 to use maybe an event on Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite or somewhere else meetup. But the people you're gonna meet there are the most important people you're gonna meet in your life, and they become probably your family, your closest people, or the information they tell you is gonna change your whole life. Like you never know who you're gonna meet out there. But if you stay home watching Netflix, just sleeping in your bed, who are you gonna meet at some point? So if it's like about, if you go on Eventbrite and you see that it's like $20, it's an evening of people who like to dance. Like for me, you would pull me in any event that involves music and dancing. But if it's worthy, like you gonna meet somebody who likes music like you, who likes dancing like you, and you're gonna have good conversation because you have a like icebreaker already. Oh, you like music? I like music. Oh, you like dancing? What moves? I'm from Africa. I like these moves, and they like, that's how we start a conversation. So if you think, I'm not gonna pay, like, then you're gonna pay more money, having headache in your head or migraine or getting worse, like depression and stuff, where you're gonna need a doctor to talk to and stuff. So here we are trying to find ways that are really affordable or even free of charge, because there are some free resources online that they could find, like events and stuff.
Yeah, like Eventbrite has a lot. Honestly, I wouldn't spend no more than like $30 for this event. Like $30 is like to go and get some lunch or something like that. So $30, like you're investing just to go and like meet people and go and hang out with them. So, or even go just to even have fun and be in the presence of like-minded people. I think that's just really important.
Like-minded people, she means if you like to go to church, you can find like Christian events there. Like that is really important. You like climbing mountains, count me out though. I climbed so many mountains going to school in Africa, so no hiking for me. Some people can pull me in, good friends and best people in my life, because they are from here and I want to expand my community. So I can probably hike a little bit, but it's not my thing. I wouldn't say I'm going to meet people like in a hiking event or anything, but pull me in music. Yeah, I can go there dancing. But so what I meant, the point is, find people who like things you like in a simple language. Like if you like going to church, then you find Christian events. I'm trying to remember, somebody just gave me an information of a festival that is really free. If I remember, I would pin it. But you know, that's how we connect with people. If that person know that I like a festival and it's free, I'm not paying anything and I'm gonna enjoy the music, the food trucks and stuff, who knows who I'm gonna bump into there. So moving on. So we are talking about expanding community and networking. Networking mostly helps you with professional side of it, because if I'm into communications or doing podcasts like this and I go to an event where they talk about communications and marketing, sometimes it's linked, or podcasters, I know that I'm going to have an easy conversation with anyone because we are doing the same thing. And who knows what they're going to help me with. I'm going to pass the ball to you to talk more about the networking.
Well, networking for me. So, for example, I met someone when I was working at my old company. I met someone that actually changed kind of like my perspective. She's an immigrant. She's basically American. She's been here since like the late 80s. And she knows a lot because she's older. She's been through it. And so she always gives me like career advice, like always helps me to kind of help me with like the next move. And we always even like have like long conversations too, like just about everything, like spirituality and like politics and what's going on in the world. So those types of things, like I would say, like it changed like my life.
Yeah. So one of the example that you just gave, it doesn't matter where people come from, because you just mentioned that that person is an immigrant, but the way you connected, now not only you have a good friend, but you have somebody that you can talk about everything and anything. So is there any advice apart from maybe finding things that are online, like coming up events, if it's for marketing or whatever, public, remind me, what are you into again? Public what?
Like international relations.
International relations. Is there any other way? If not, then we can move on. Healthy habits.
If you want to connect to have different professional connections, I would suggest that like maybe Google. So for example, again, this is what I mentioned in the last episode is like the keywords. So if you're into, let's say you're a teacher, and you want to look up like maybe events for like educators. So events for educators near me, or if you're into marketing or communication or business, like, oh, business professional events near me, or I'm into more like international relations, like politics. So I would look up maybe groups like related to that. So that's how I found out. Even I went on LinkedIn and I found out groups on LinkedIn. And then that's how I got connected to all of these different people. I got connected to like diplomats. I got connected to people that used to work at the state. They worked at the UN. And I was able to establish like all these different connections. So that's what helped me.
So, bottom line here is that, of course, expanding your community is very, really important. But I see like side like personal life, not professional, but networking is more important if you want to expand the community of people who have same interest in career-wise, like whatever you're interested in. So please use Google. It's like a good friend. AI, good friend. Like just type in the keywords as she just mentioned to make sure that when you go to an event, it's really accurate and relative to what you really want. So, healthy habits. When I say that word, like your face is already brightened right now. You like healthy things. I know. Where can we start from? What do you want to say about healthy habits? What do you have for us today?
Yeah, so healthy habits for me is very important. I think not only like spiritually you transform emotionally, and then you transform physically. So I'll kind of go over like each thing. So physically, obviously it's going to the gym. Some people, they just kind of mindlessly go to the gym, but I try to go to the gym and kind of find out things what I like I take like taking Pilates, I like taking yoga. I like doing like bar classes. Sometimes I go on walks or like hiking trails. And for me, that improves like my physical body. So my body is well maintained. I don't lose any like muscle. You age less, and then you always feel like good about yourself. So when you're in like a good shape, you can wear like beautiful clothes, or
Yay.
so you can wear beautiful clothes. You can also, it helps with like your brain as well because it increases cortisol and dopamine. So you have those like happy endorphins. And then when you see like the progress in your body, like how much it's changed, like you are kind of like pleased with it because you want like maybe to your body to look a certain way, and you kind of have that in mind, and then you like work towards it. So for me, that's very important, is to keep like good physical health, because you will live like a very healthy life for sure. So that's very important to me. Um, the next is like when you also is your emotional health as well. So always like if you're feeling like stressed, or you're feeling anxious, or you're angry, like for me, I think those like types of things are very natural and in a person. But for me, like I kind of go digging deep, like, okay, where is that coming from? Like, why am I feeling anxious? Like, why am I angry at this person, or why am I angry at myself? So it comes from somewhere that like this anger comes from, or this frustration comes from. So sometimes like I like to journal like my thoughts, like why do I feel this way? Sometimes I go out and just breathe, or I just go and like talk to somebody about it that I feel like I can trust. And sometimes like if you're like maybe like a very like religious person as well, or spiritual person, like maybe talking to someone like at your church, at your synagogue, whatever that you practice, like someone there, and connect with them. And then also if you have your own spiritual practices or faith, like always like write them down. Sometimes you don't have to go to like a temple or a church to figure it out. Sometimes people figure it out within themselves. And I think the next one, I think I said emotional, physical, and then also mental. as well. And then so that's kind of plays a part of the mental health, is to keep your emotional health sane. And I was kind of halfway through my book, but basically it's called
Reading a book. Okay.
yeah, so it's called becoming supernatural. So it explains that when the thoughts that we think about ourselves, we create the reality that we shape. And we can also create like diseases and things like that. So always make sure that you try to, even though things are like in a bad situation, try to think positively about something. So let's say you had a really bad day or bad week, just kind of like write things down, like what you want to change, like about yourself, about your health. And it's been proven by science that these types of things can change your reality. Like people become better human beings this way because it's like a self-discovery moment.
If she's speaking doctor's language for you guys, I have like a little takeaway here. There is a list of stuff that are really important for your mental health and physical health. Jim, you may say, I don't want to pay money. I'm with you. I go there though. I changed my mind like very recently because obviously I don't need to lose weight, but mentally it's really helping me because the job now I'm doing, if I don't take care of myself, I would be just packing plastic bags on the street there. Like, see what I mean? You don't know what that means. It's a joke in Kenya. Like when somebody go crazy and mad, they start collecting all the garbage on. So to say that gym is really important if you can afford it. If you can't, there is YouTube. You can watch videos and do your own gym in your room, in your living room, whatever you feel comfortable with. Because I know when we talk things about like how to afford a good life, then money is involved. I totally understand if you are on budget, which I am too. So I'm with you on that. But if you can find like a very affordable membership at a gym, then you can do your own gym. I used to do that. So yeah, that's physical. But there are some stuff that you can also do that I want to add on top of that before I highlight again what she said. Drinking water, stay hydrated. Like we live in desert here, like it's really dry. Water, it's an insult in my language to drink water. I'm kidding. But if you have milk, if you have other drinks, water would come on like at the very bottom of the list. So I want to say that water was one of the things I would think last. But now water is my friend. I'm not saying that I'm doing a great job, but I improved. I really improved because I was advised so many times that I have to stay hydrated. It depends on how you like water. I like my water warm because my tummy really does a great job with warm stuff, but don't ask me cold water. You may find maybe you want water with some ice in it, or you want water with some, because there are some fruits that you can put in your body and still cleanse your body and help you to have like good skin, to, you can figure out about, there are some powders there. I don't know them well to mention them right now, but I can do some research and pin on this video. It doesn't have to be water, tasteless water. You can add some stuff just to drink more because it encourages you to have more fluids in your body. So eating healthy. I know that you know a lot about eating healthy. What I'm gonna add is just watching what you're eating. If you told me in a year ago to read on whatever the package is, whatever I'm buying, calories, I was like, do I need to know all that? But now I know what my body needs because I need to take care of myself. If I don't, then I'm gonna fall sick. So I'm not saying that I should be having like chemistry skills to know what calories, biology, no, but at least most of the products, at least in US here, there is a list of things. If you see that the sugar is really so high, then you know that it's not healthy. There are some simple things to look at, on the package stuff. So watch what you're eating and drinking because not all the products are really healthy. So getting back to what she highlighted, now you know that you can drink water and go to gym or do your own gym at home as long as you physically, do something. There are some fun physical exercise that you can do without thinking of lifting up like weight and stuff, including swimming. Swimming is a really good thing. If you live abroad, most of apartments or places, they have pools or public pools that are really affordable. And also, walks, like taking short walk each day, it helps a lot. Sometimes it's not easy to find that time to do like short work and stuff, but think of the time you would spend on media, social media, TikTok. If you take those 10 minutes, even if it would be just here and across, but you did that, your body's gonna get used to that, and that is really important. So let's see how we can keep this short. You also mentioned emotionally and mentally. Sometimes people would get confused about like emotional part and mental part of, side things. Like, just can you clarify that a little bit? Because you said emotional when you feel like anxious, mad, or sad about something, you have to figure out and write down, which I really do appreciate, because writing down sometimes helps you. But what would you clarify between like emotions and mental health here? Like, I feel like it's connected.
Yeah, so I mean, they're connected with each other, but mental health is just kind of like, for me, it's in a sense like preserving my peace. So, for example, if I feel like if an environment is like toxic, and this is just like especially for like a lot of immigrants that come here, like they go into an environment, like maybe their first job here, and they think all jobs are like this. No, that's not correct. So there's many different jobs, and you don't have to stay at this job. Like if you don't want, like you can always go to the next job. So for me, like my mental health is being around like positive people, being around like a good environment. I love traveling. So definitely like my mental health for me is just finding peace and like traveling to like different countries and learning like different people. And as well, so the emotional and the mental health are very tied together. Like our emotions can affect our mental health. So for example, if we're angry, if we're anxious, that can go into our mental health, and we just feel kind of depressed. We feel tired, and we're like overthinking things. Like we're creating like thoughts in our head that don't really like exist. So those are things like you have to kind of pull back from and always like reflect on it. Like, why do you feel this way? So it's definitely like you're kind of going deep into like your own psyche in some way, because we're going into the depths of like the human soul.
Wow. Healthy habits here. We can go hours and hours, but one of the things I want to add on top of what she just said, that I learned like over time, is that sometimes mental health emotions, they are disturbed by things that it start by, here, this monitor, when it's heated up, it bursts, like, and it comes back on our faces, and that is a really big mistake. When you put a phone or any electric device under the heat, I'm talking about this because we live in an area where the temperatures can get on 100 and 100-ish, it overheat, and when it overheat, it boom, like it doesn't work anymore until it cool down again. So if you feel like here your machine is overheating, and there is most of the time it overheats because you have no solution for that thing. Some things that we don't have answers to, because we are not super humans. We are just human beings, and sometimes we don't have answers for everything. But I would say, even, I'm not gonna be like religious here a lot, but even the prayer that we are taught to say, please give us to this day's the meal. They didn't say in the future or tomorrow. Today's bread. That is our Father who art in heaven. So I'm saying, what about today? Tomorrow, I'm not saying be lazy or anything, but tomorrow, if you don't have solution for tomorrow, just cross that bridge when you get there. We don't have all answers. So I used to overthink. I needed to know, like, to be in control. I have the will. I need to know where I'm going. I need to know everything. I'm not superwoman. I learned that like hard way, because I was stuck in a world, in a bubble, where I had to have solutions to everything, for everything, and answers, and it's impossible. sometimes. Some things you can handle because you can put your hands on, you can put your heart and brain on and resolve some problems. But not every problem has an answer today or tomorrow. Sometimes it takes like time. So wrapping up, we can take forever, but let's not like keep it like that long because I know maybe don't look at me like that. Maybe part 3 if we come up with another great idea. Maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think, Maggie?
Yes, when I come back.
Yeah. By the way, when you come back, okay. I don't want to spill the tea here, but when she comes back, where are you going? I know you started it when you come back.
When I come back from my vacation.
Vacation. Thank you for titling, like naming that way. She's going on vacation. Why? Because she needs vacation. Why? Because it's healthy. Why? Because it's important.
Yes, connecting with my ancestors. Let's just put it that way.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna highlight when you need a vacation, know that you need it and take it. It doesn't have to be expensive or whatever. You need a pause, you need a break, take it. Anyways, maybe part 3 at some point.
Yes.
Who knows? And would there be any other kind of message that would just put out there? Positive affirmations. I know we talked about it in the past and stuff. Is there any specific message so we can wrap up this great conversation?
I just want to say that anyone that is watching is that they're not alone. There's like so many people in this world, and I think just be open-minded, be open to new possibilities, and just be open to meeting like different types of people. I think especially in the world that we live in, we judge people based on what they look like, what their skin color is, what their religion is, what we see online. And so just go out into that physical world and just meet different people and get different perspectives.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Maggie. I am grateful to have you in my life. I'm grateful that we are friends. I can't remember, not to get back in the whole conversation, I can't remember how it started, but we worked together and how we connected. My mouth.
My sneezes were very loud in the office. Everybody knows that I was in the office when I sneezed. So
then what happened?
And then you put like on a sticky note, like in my cubicle, you were like, sneeze you. And then I was like, I just thought it was funny.
If I remember well, because I was like, I'm not going to say bless you multiple times a day. So this girl needs something. So I wrote a note, bless you. Like, bless you for the rest of your life, I guess. Bless you. Because I was like, I put it on like a cubicle and said, hey, friend, each time you sneeze, just look at this paper. I don't have to say it. And that's how I connected with Maggie, and talking to her, and like the way we view world, we don't see eye into eye all the time, but we speak about so many things, and I'm glad that we can, do all this and, share our stories and experience. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
all right. Did I say that this is Your Story, My Inspiration podcast? You know already. Did I say that I have Facebook? You know my Facebook. Please do your thing. Subscribe, share. All positive vibes here. If you have any insight, any kind of message that I think would help somebody else, because some things are really so important to share, more than you would think you know everything. We don't know everything, but sharing is caring. So please reach out, drop a comment, and I will see you next time.
See you next time.
Okay, bye.